Hello and welcome. The the topic today with editorial of Hindu is a better test. It refers to testing of disease. The common problem today, the trouble. As always, the words meaning have been given at the top. Today I found only one word combination that has a meaning to be understood. The word is testing protocol. Now, a protocol refers to an official procedure, uh, a procedure that has been adopted by government, and this time it refers to testing procedure that has been made official. So, a better test. Let us go with the subtopic. India should quickly adopt the rapid, inexpensive, and sensitive saliva test. What is saliva? Saliva is what we produce in the mouth, and that helps digesting food. The liquid that is produced in the mouth is saliva. So it says that India should quickly accept to the rapid. This saliva test is rapid. Inexpensive. This saliva test is inexpensive. It is a very low cost per test and sensitive. This saliva test is quite sensitive to it can detect the corona infection rapidly with low cost expenditure and with higher accuracy. If it is sensitive, then it is accurate as well. Okay, the passage now. On August 15, see, I have marked the keywords into blue only to help you as to find what is to be read in the passage and what can be skipped out. So if we are able to detect the keywords, the message comes through and the question answer sessions can easily be handled with the help of these keywords. All accessory informations, all subsidiary informations are clustered around these keywords. So the keywords become very important. And since keywords are few and far between, they can easily be kept in mind while going ahead with the text of a passage. On August 15, 6.5 months after the first novel coronavirus case was reported in the country, India crossed another grim milestone. A milestone which is a sorry milestone, not a happy milestone. That milestone is 50,000 deaths. So, August 15 in itself is a date celebrated as Independence Day, and on this day, India has had another milestone of having a landmark, having crossed a landmark figure, that is 15,000 deaths due to coronavirus infection. The total number of cases reported as on Saturday stood at nearly 2.6 million. India has been reporting the most fresh cases in a day in the world since August 2. So, worldwide, the worldwide the cases reported each day is growing, and as on Saturday it was 2.6 million. If we speak of India, it is having the most fresh cases each day, more than the total death toll, now 51,045. What is troubling is the shorter time taken for the death of toll to double. This death toll is to be read together. Death toll is doubling, and it is doubling faster. This is what it says. Sorry. The toll count, here also, toll count should be read together. The toll count, toll means amount, toll means the quantum. The toll count crossed 25,000 on July 16 and doubled to over 50,000 in just 30 days. So this is how it is speeding up. The toll count is speeding up. It was 25,000 on July. The story began sometime 6 months ago, 6.5 months ago, and on July the death was 25,000. This figure has doubled in just 30 days. This is what it says. It is certain that there is some extent of underreporting of deaths across the country, especially when deaths have occurred outside the healthcare system. So this is obvious thing. It says that there is some underreporting of the deaths happening outside the government healthcare system. The deaths, all these figures refers to the deaths that have occurred in the healthcare system and not outside the healthcare system. So it is it carries a high probability that there is underreporting. For instance, reporting of COVID-19 cases and deaths by states such as Gujarat, West Bengal, and Telangana have been suspect right from the beginning. The pandemic-defying trend seen in these states is in stark contrast to the rest of the country. So it says that the states that have high movements, transnational as well as interstate movements, they are showing some meager figures. These states are Gujarat, West Bengal, and Telangana. They have been suspected, they have been doubted for their figures right from the beginning. The pandemic defying trend seen in these states, the trend defying, moving away from the general trend perceived in other parts of the country, is in contrast to the rest of the country. This is what it says. The figures shown by these three states are away from the general trend observed in other states of the country. No combination of factors can explain the low daily mortality figures in Gujarat and Telangana. So, it says that there is no factor why they should have lower mortality rate. The Gujarat and Telangana should have lower mortality rate. This is what it claims. It is a kind of claim. This sentence claims this fact. In fact, in the last 1 month, the death toll on any single day in Telangana has never crossed 15 and has been in single digits on many days. The state even reported 0 deaths on July 26, while in Gujarat deaths have never crossed 30 except on one day. So it gives actual figures that it is surprising that the deaths in Telangana has never crossed 15, and on most of the days it was in single digits, below 10, up to 9, single digit up to 9. And on one day, July 26, the death was even zero. There was no death. Similarly, in Gujarat, the figures have never crossed 30 except on one day. So these are surprising figures. However, underreporting notwithstanding, it is unlikely to be huge enough to change the death toll several fold. So it says that keep aside the death rates, the death toll could be several fold what being projected now. Okay, this first para gives the picture or the true sense in which things, the deaths due to COVID 19 is being reported and is being observed, and the skepticism against those figures, the doubt against those figures. Let us go with the second paragraph. Like in most Southeast Asian countries, deaths per million population have been low in India. So this is according to the general trend over here in Asian countries. Southeast Asian countries are having low death rates per million population, and similarly, the India is also having the same trend. While the case fatality rate too has been low, the case fatality rate, each case that becomes fatal, that gets infected, may culminate into death or not, it is low. This chances of dying an infected person is quite low. While the case fatality rate has been low, okay, mark it. Case fatality low. This carries a meaning which we must think of. It speaks about case to case basis. A person once infected will eventually die or not refers to case fatality rate. Now, this case fatality rate also has been low. The continuous dip in the rate might be due to more cases, including asymptomatic ones, being detected due to increased testing with rapid antigen tests. Now it says that sorry, again the throat is troubling. See, it says that the case fatality rates have been low and there is continuous dip in this rate. This is more so because of the asymptomatic cases which is being detected due to increased testing with rapid antigen test. Now we are using rapid antigen tests and asymptomatic cases are being found a lot, and since the total number of infected persons are increasing rapidly and deaths are not death rates are not increasing, fatality rates is not increasing, so this comes out as a fall in fatality rate against the total number of infected persons. So this sentence clearly mentions that recently rapid antigen tests have started to be conducted, and this leads to finding lot many asymptomatic ones. So total number of infected persons are increasing rapidly, but the fatality rate is not increasing to that extent, and this creates a dip in that rate. I think the meaning should be clear to you now. The total infected persons are increasing, but the fatality rate reported is having its own rate. Since the rapidity of infected persons are increasing, the fatality rate against this population of infected persons is said to be falling. Also, large cities that witness strained healthcare infrastructure. What is strained healthcare infrastructure? The healthcare infrastructure in strain, in overload. So, also large cities that witness strained healthcare system due to surge in cases leading to more deaths seem to have passed the peak. It says that the large cities appear to have passed the peak. They have peaked out. The rate of infection or the rate of deaths are likely to fall. A big shortcoming of rapid antigen tests is their low sensitivity, and despite the ICMR's recommendation, most states have very low rates of validation of negative test results using molecular method. So it it has a clear meaning. It says that rapid antigen test has low accuracy. It is not very accurate, and application of molecular method uh, is not being possible uh, in most of the states. So it has low rates of validation. It is slow also, and has uh, we cannot use it like the rapid antigen test. Okay, let us combine the whole of it, and then we get a clear meaning. Low rates of validation of negative test results. So, uh, the molecular test gives uh, uh, confirmation of lower number of negative test results. This is what it says. Relying mostly on rapid antigen tests will result in many of the infected continuing to spread the virus. So it says that if we rely on antigen test, the the test will say no, and still the viruses will spread uh, through these infected persons which have been said no by the antigen test, because antigen tests have low sensitivity. If speed, low cost, and constraints of molecular testing capacity are the reasons why many states have embraced rapid antigen testing, the emergency use of authorization granted recently by US's FDA for a saliva test developed by Yale University should be good news for India. Now it says that this problem of low sensitivity by rapid antigen test gets resolved uh, and resolved by the one of the findings of Yale University, which has been accepted by US's FDA, and that is saliva test. The saliva test becomes an alternative outcome uh, that can be used in place of antigen test. It, it says that this molecular testing faces uh, problems of speed and low cost. So these constrain rapidity of testing, and that is why states are avoiding use of this molecular testing. The molecular testing, although is quite sensitive and has high accuracy, but the speed and low cost are the main constraints of the states. The rapid inexpensive, non-invasive, and highly sensitive test that uses saliva sample will not only help detect more cases but also reduce the need for trained care workers to collect samples. Now it has this saliva test has so many easy things associated with it. It is rapid, it is not expensive, it is not invasive, it will not be transferred, the infection will not be transferred to the persons going ahead with the testing procedure, and it is highly sensitive test using saliva from the mouth. So it doesn't require even the highly trained professionals to collect the samples for testing. So this becomes a far easier procedure. With the testing protocol, with the official testing procedure made freely available, India should facilitate rapid adoption of the tests by states after local validation. So this is what it says. It expects states to adopt this procedure after local validation. Early results of the saliva test have been encouraging, and India will hugely gain by embracing it in lieu of unreliable rapid antigen test, particularly when the virus spreads to the rural areas. Now it says it is suggestive and it is indicative of the obvious outcome that India should embrace saliva test in place of rapid antigen test, particularly in the circumstances when the spread of COVID goes to rural areas as well, where we cannot afford to have a lot many trained hands. So this is the passage, and uh, I leave it here. Okay, please like and subscribe this channel. Thank you.